How's it going, fellers? Let's check out some more of these clips.
We actually found it. I didn't think we'd find this cave, but here it is. Yeah! This is a dungeon. I know, who built it? Yeah. What?
No way.
Alright, so we have a choice to either keep going on this level or to go up
Or to
the spiral
go up?
staircase. Whoever made the staircase knew what they were doing. Dude, the elevator. Holy crap. Dude, it sounds like there's power to it or something. What?
Oh, yeah, I'm getting a picture.
Whoa, dude, I can see a platform way up.
I don't know where a lot of these, or where this place is. I know a lot of these type of tunnels exist, like all over the world. I know there's different theories, ones that were built like, thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, from our previous civilizations, which I think were more, you know, uh, were smarter and more advanced than us for sure. Um, some say like under the a lot of these old buildings in the world that um they're actually larger buildings underground and a lot of them connect. I don't know. What do you guys think?
The increase in chronic illnesses like diabetes, cancer, and heart disease isn't just bad luck or a result of modern life, but part of a bigger plan. Think about it. Despite all the amazing advances in medicine, how often do you hear about a real cure for these diseases? Not just a treatment that you take every day, but an actual cure that makes the problem disappear forever. It's rare, isn't it? Some people believe this isn't a coincidence. They say the system we trust to keep us healthy might actually be designed to keep us sick. Let's start with Big Pharma, the name given to the powerful companies that make medicine. These companies make billions of dollars every year, not by curing diseases, but by selling drugs that people need to take for their whole lives. If they cured everyone, they'd lose customers. Imagine if there were a pill that could completely cure diabetes. Wouldn't that be great? But here's the catch. Once everyone is cured, there's no more need for diabetes medication. That's a huge loss of money for the companies making those drugs. Some people believe this is why so much money goes into treatments, and so little goes into finding actual cures. But it's not just about the medicine. Look at the food we eat every day. Most of it is processed, full of sugar, unhealthy fats, and chemicals, with names you can't even pronounce. These foods aren't just making us gain weight, they're causing long-term health problems.
Sorry, I think a lot of this though, like over bad food and the medicine is just to keep us sicker and keep unaliving us quicker and quicker. That's what I think. I don't even. I mean, I think money probably plays a part in it, but I don't think that's the main reason.
Like heart disease and diabetes. And who approves these foods? The same agencies that are supposed to protect us. Even though studies show that some of these ingredients are harmful, they still end up on our plates. Why? Because food companies and pharmaceutical companies often work hand in hand. The worse our diets are, the more health problems we develop. The more health problems we have, the more money Big Pharma makes by selling us treatments. And it goes deeper. Have you ever noticed how some researchers or doctors who talk about natural cures or alternative treatments get silenced? Maybe their funding is suddenly cut, or they're labeled as crazy by the media. There are stories of promising research into cures for cancer, diabetes, and other diseases being buried or blocked because it would hurt the profits of major companies. Some scientists have even come forward to say they were told to stop their work if it got too close to a real cure. Then there's the issue of who's in charge. Many of the people who work for organizations like the FDA or CDC, the ones that regulate medicine and food, used to work for big pharmaceutical or food companies. When their time in government is done, many go back to those companies. This revolving door creates a conflict of interest. How can these agencies truly protect public health when the people running them are tied to the industries they're supposed to regulate? It's a system where every part feeds into the next. Processed food makes us sick. The sickness creates demand for medication. The medication doesn't cure us but manages our symptoms, so we keep buying it. Meanwhile, the same companies that profit from this cycle influence the agencies that are supposed to look out for us. So, what does this mean for us? It means we need to start asking questions. Why aren't there more cures? Why do harmful ingredients stay in our food? Why is so much money made from keeping us sick? The answers might be uncomfortable, but they're important. The truth is out there. You just have to be willing to look for it.
Because a bunch of evil people run this world. That's what I think. Um, you know, if we are in the little season, or if preterism already happened, what if like that would mean that the elite are trying to simulate, the end times happening now? But what if they actually believe that they're bringing in the end times? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I think they do a lot of stuff on purpose, and I think they simulate a lot of stuff. Um, I don't know, you know what I mean? Let me read these couple verses real quick, if you don't mind. I just want to show something. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verses 9 through 11. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. You think that might be like about our civilizations too? Um like, how we're not allowed to, like, we're not taught in school or anything what happened to our previous civilizations. Like, cuz they're clearly not telling us the truth. I think there's enough evidence for that. Um I watch a lot of these type of videos in my spare time. I'll watch my lunch break and uh Minutes of Horror. I like both of those channels. And my lunch break goes into great detail about these old world buildings and all their AI written scripts. I think AI is a lot older than what we're told. I think it's been around for probably at least decades. But I think that's why a lot of stuff's being rewritten for like the Mandela effect and whatnot. Now the physical things, I don't know how that would work. Like how there's still physical copies of certain things, how those could even be changed if they can. Um, but I don't know. It's just all curious. I know that it's important to take a step back away from all these type of conspiracy videos, because it can really put you in a bad place. And I mean, I don't know if you're a Christian, but I pray that you are, or that yeah. But sometimes just getting back into the Word of God is it helps a lot to bring your mood back up. And it's good. It's good. I mean, knowledge is good, right?
dead babies. And in
Whoa.
1982 in California, there was this doctor and he had a shipping container in his backyard. And I'm not sure if he was like making payments to pay it off. So he failed to make payments. Check didn't go through. Somebody went to go repo it. So they took the container and stuff. And first of all, it was mad fucking heavy. It was hard for them to put it on the
I'm so sorry. Let me read this other verse. For as Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. So that's what I mean about, like, sometimes you just got to take a step back, because I mean, I know I get angry about a lot of this stuff, and you don't want to live a life of anger like that.
on the truck so hard that they couldn't take it off the truck.
Damn, what the
That's how heavy
fuck?
it was. Yeah, so it was so heavy that they had to open it and basically unload it one by one. As soon as they opened it, one of the workers ended up getting hit by something, and it was a dead baby.
What the fuck?
As soon as that happened, they ended up calling the supervisor. Supervisor comes, they ended up seeing that in these cardboard boxes were a lot of plastic containers containing dead fetuses and dead babies. Exactly over 16,500
Babies.
dead babies were in there, bro. The authorities would call. Basically, what that was part of an abortion clinic. Imagine seeing that, bro. Your fucking regular day at work.
I would get traumatized.
But people were saying that back then was when the news actually showed
Fucked up shit.
fucked up shit.
So this shit was on the news.
It was covered on the news, yeah.
What the
I'm
fuck?
gonna show you the videos now of like the people getting interviewed, like the workers and shit.
I got a radio call from Ron Gillette. He said the men were throwing up and there was something really wrong.
One of them fell down and hit me right in front of my feet. It was opened up, and there it was. It was a mutilated.
Yeah, I mean, I wish our civilization, didn't promote this. I mean, it's child sacrifice. if you get one of these abortions, you're doing it. You're sacrificing that child to grow your career, or you can't take care of it for financial reasons, or you want to play sports, or whatever reason. It's sacrificing your child to do those things. And our culture, of course, promotes it, and I think it'll be judged for that. Um, what else was I gonna say? And these people, like, I mean, this is crazy that they're transporting all these dead, these babies, and just imagine what they're doing, what kind of rituals and stuff they're doing with those babies, or using them as skincare treatment. I mean, you've heard about that kind of stuff. Just wild. It's depressing.
That's right. They're a far more advanced offshoot of the ancient polar hominids. Okay. They've been there for centuries. Okay. They never leave this area because they have no reason to, right? They are biologically wired to thrive in this much colder and desolate climate. I mean, look, they're basically just like us, right? But much differently featured. I mean, snow white hair, very pale skinned. And look, they not only exist, but buddy, they are thriving in a full blown civilization that pretty much predates everything we know. The higher ranking families of these Antarctic humans have basically controlled this region of land for centuries, right? They are in control of precious minerals that can only be found within this region of the world, right? And so think about it. This is why we cannot go there, right? Our leaders don't want them finding out about us, and they don't want us finding out about them. And so you basically have this generational kind of standoff in which we sort of do business with each other while simultaneously keeping this entire civilization out of our realm of understanding. I'm going to go ahead and say this is a joke for entertainment purposes only, right? For my safety.
I don't know. Maybe there might be something like that down there. I don't know. There's definitely something in Antarctica. I mean, the whole world, every country like agrees on that treaty, right? But they can't agree on other things, which I think a lot of that's bull. I mean, I think all politicians are corrupt. It's all at the high levels, like Congress and whatever else, all the governments of the world, basically. And the ones that don't want to follow the planned script, they get some kind of war, or some kind of weather event, right? Yeah.
If you're new here, I usually talk about some pretty scary stuff, but this next one is about what lies under the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel and the terrifying truth they don't want you to know. Yo, the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel has been called one of the most dangerous stretches of road in America, and when you hear what's been happening underwater, you'll understand why. From mysterious crashes to ships that vanished and a suspicious military presence, the stories from beneath this 17-mile bridge will have you questioning what's really down there. Have you ever driven over this bridge in bad weather? Drop a wave emoji in the comments if this already sounds insane, and hit that star and consider subscribing if you've got a scary story you want me to cover next. Now let's talk about November 2022. A cargo ship clipped the bridge in a freak accident during a storm, but witnesses say the ship wasn't alone. They claim to see drivers being pulled from the water by unmarked boats, and the story was quickly buried with no foul play suspected. But that's not the only case. Several drivers have vanished on the bridge only for their cars to be found with nobody inside, still running, headlights on, and the doors shut. Rescue teams blame the current, but locals say there's something below the surface. You think there's something being hidden under the Chesapeake Bay? Comment the single eye emoji if you think we're not getting the full story. There's even a documented incident where a naval sub had to be rerouted mid-transit because of unexpected interference, a lot of quotations here, in the tunnel's vicinity. And the most chilling part, a diver who once worked beneath the bridge posted anonymously saying, "There's something down there. We were told never to speak of it, but what's worse, these type of events are becoming more frequent." What do you think? Should I do a part 2 on the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel incident during the 2019 storm, or the cargo ship in 2023? Let me know below. And if you got a scary story, bridge nightmare, true story that's never been told, send it to me. I might just feature yours next. And then drop that double eye emoji if you made it.
I mean, that's kind of interesting. I have no idea, what's going on. I mean, obviously something bad. This world's full of crap, from people, from man, from certain individuals, groups of them.
Neighborhoods underground.
And these people are just unknowingly
Yep.
living down there.
The operation started back in roughly the late 70s, right? When nuclear tensions were kind of getting a bit out of control. Intelligence agencies kind of developed this confidential defense program, a failsafe, right? An alternative underground survival strategy in the event of a worst case scenario above ground. And so they just took the common sense approach. They built towns that looked exactly like ours, right? Roads, shopping centers, even schools. They modeled it after our society, but then they realized they didn't have any humans, right? And well, this is where it gets a little dark. They gathered hundreds of young people from adoption facilities, right? Made sure they were young enough not to remember their origins. And well, this is how they populated the place. They raised them up, taught them that they were from a fallen world, and this place was all that was left, right? Look, as the years went on, they just never shut it down. It's technically just an ongoing research operation at the expense of several thousand people who have no knowledge of the outside world above them.
It's kind of interesting. You see all these shows and movies about being inside of a dome, right? Like which could be a metaphor or whatever for us, be with the firmament, but like what's that show recently about? I forget. It was world was wiped out for whatever. And it's like the president and Secret Service guy and all these other people were handpicked to stay in a mountain, right, with a simulated um neighborhood or whatever. I mean, what if that is true? What if these civilizations do exist? I do think there's some kind of civilizations underground, but what if the people are being lied to? Like in this show, they're not. They know what happened, but like what if people are being lied to? It does seem like our sky is simulated, at least in some way. With all the I mean, over the last when I was a kid, I remember a lot more stars in the sky. Now it looks like a lot of them blink, red, blue, or like white. The I don't know, and all the I mean, you guys seen the videos, all the craziness in the sky. I don't know. I'm not saying like that we are, in a mountain or underground or something, but what if something like that happened? I mean, wouldn't that be pretty crazy? What do you guys think?
There's Antarctic
Uh-huh.
human colonies.
Right.
And we've encountered them.
Yep. Buddy, look. Just look at the timeline of our recorded expeditions to Antarctica. It tells you everything. James Weddell, 1824. Charles Wilkes, 1840. Started off as these rational lone expeditions, right? But then all of a sudden we don't go back for nearly 100 years. And when we finally returned, it was with Admiral Byrd's naval expedition known as Operation High Jump. Now tell me, why do you think we would halt expeditions for a century and return with an entire fleet of naval forces if it was just a cold, desolate land with nothing going on? Because this wasn't just another explorative expedition, it was a planned confrontation. Okay, we already knew they were there. We wanted to show up and appear threatening for leverage in a peace treaty. Fast forward, Byrd comes back and, dear God rest his soul, but he passes away no more than about a decade or so later. And if you think that's a coincidence, well, I just don't know what to tell you. Cut to present day. Nobody's allowed down there. Can't even approach the vicinity of the continent. And the Antarctic colony is still thriving as they've been for, God, thousands of years.
I'm sure there are civilizations down there. No, they're supposed to be. I forgot what they're called, but like hot pockets for where there's a lot of heat, like and green, vegetation. I forgot what they're called, but anyways, I appreciate you watching. That's the last clip I got. God bless you, and I hope you have an awesome day. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.